Hey everybody, it's Caleb here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the ones who commented on the very last video. It's certainly appreciated. For everyone who's watching this, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing if you find any kind of value to what I put out. It'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, so are we going to go to war? There's a lot of scuttlebutt going on right now. That you have Pete Hegseth, who's the Secretary of War, has issued out an order, a decree, however you want to look at it, to, I guess, hundreds of generals and high-ranking officials, admirals, whoever it might be, to come to Quantico for a meeting in this next week. I believe it's Tuesday. I don't ever remember anything of this significance and this magnitude ever taking place. I've seen some comments from people who's worked at the Pentagon, and they've, according to their comments, said virtually the same thing. They've never seen anything like this. A lot of geopolitical stuff going on in Europe, and you're looking at, Russia talking about shooting planes or drones out of the sky over, if they're flown over international, or not international, but Russian airspace. You've got Poland has issued a statement to all, people from Poland that's in Belarus to leave immediately. And then there's some other things that's taking place. I don't understand every aspect of the foreign European theater, and not be people who's watch this that can really put some expertise into what they're seeing. Please do leave a comment if you understand more about what's going on in the European theater. I never served in Europe, other than going through airports, coming and going to Iraq and whatnot. So I don't have that expertise. There's some things I don't want to, put something on video and just be completely ignorant about, if you understand what I'm saying. So please put something in the comments if you have a lot more understanding of what's going on in Europe, other than the Ukrainian, Russian stuff and whatnot. But also we're looking at, there's this growing threat of terrorism within the United States. I don't know if you watch Sean Ryan's show. He's had Sarah Adams on his show multiple times. And of course, you've had other people in the vein of Sarah, and you got Scott Mann, you have Legend. Sean, flew overseas to interview the son of, and I can't think of the guy's name, but it's the Northern Alliance freedom fighter, if you will, from Afghanistan that got killed right before 9/11. Sean's interviewed his son, who's kind of taken up his father's mantle, talking about the Islamic terrorist threat, not only against America but all over the West. And there's a lot of chatter about that. And it's been going on for several months, basically all of 2025. And it looks like an attack within the United States is imminent. Now, are the issues with what's going on in Europe, Hegseth bringing all these generals and high-ranking officials into Quantico, and then the terrorism thing, are they all linked? Maybe. I don't know. It could be a multiple front thing, of course. You also have to look at, I've seen some reports about fiber optic cables and so on and so forth being severed and cut. That very well could be. It could be an orchestrated thing, coordinated with other entities. I don't know just yet. I was kind of out of the loop a lot yesterday, so I didn't get a chance really to stay on top of it. And this morning was kind of a crash course for me before I made the video. So please, again, put in the comments if you know anything about these particular issues and the importance thereof. But are we going to go to war? I think there's a high probability that war is definitely on the horizon or within the next couple of months. If not within a 6-month period. I think the biggest immediate threat for us is the possibility of an inside terrorist attack. I know that from the stuff I've gathered from Sarah and the like, and then also just other stuff I've with the accounts on Twitter that I'm following, that Al Qaeda has basically stated, Osama bin Laden specifically, basically stated that they're looking for 30 to 100,000 American casualties when the attack does take place. And hospitals looks to be one of the main soft targets. Sporting events very well could also be a big thing to draw those casualty numbers. And that kind of hits home in a sense. I just came from a baseball game this week, and then I'm going to an NFL football game in October. And so it kind of puts in, for me, in a perspective that I might not otherwise have, as far as being vigilant, but also living my life and not letting, fear dictate what I do. But it is something to greatly consider with, again, all the different, realms of possibilities. And, the war on terror has not ended. And I think that's one of the things, and I've said it in another video, it's one of the things that the American people really need to comprehend, that the war on terror has not ended, and sadly it never will end. The origins of it could even go back to, the Barbary pirates, in 1801 or whatever it was. But I don't know. I mean, tell me in the comments what you think. Are we going to war? Who do you think it's going to be with? The scope of the war, the technology that's going to be used in the war. I mean, technology is so far advanced in the last even 10 years. Whenever I was in Iraq, there was always these, symposiums and exposés, if you will, about, the new kind of body armor and things of this nature. But now we've got like robotic dogs, if you will, that can do miraculous things on the battlefield. Of course, drone technology has increased, 100-fold, from the time whenever I was in Iraq. So I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm scared about it. You can't be scared about it. You can't. You have to, live your life, and you have to be able to meet it head on whenever it takes place. And those of us who are veterans, or you might be watching this and you're still active duty, or reserve or guard or whatever the case might be. You can't cower to it. You can't be fearful of it. You got to meet it where it's at, and even in the face of fear, drive forward. So that's kind of where I'm at. If it happens, it happens, and then you just have to react to it. But again, tell me in the comments what you guys think. I hope and pray from a Christian perspective that none of this stuff takes place. From a realistic standpoint, just mentally preparing for what very well could possibly come, and then also understanding with that, understanding that the life that we've had, if this turns into something like really significant, the life we've lived very well could go away. I don't know. I hope not. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. I know it's kind of a heavy topic. But again, tell me in the comments what you guys think, and I certainly appreciate it. And I will see y'all on the next one. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.